everybody, and welcome to Global Trends. They've been a staple of science fiction for years, but in real life, we've been slow to adopt them. Our next and last guest is hoping farmers can be persuaded differently. Let me welcome him, Simone Scarabelli from Free Green Nature.
Thanks, Annalena. Hello, Adrian. It's a real pleasure to be here with you and your guests.
Thank you, Simone. Grazie. It's a pleasure to have you here. I leave you to Adrian.
Thank you. Simone, first things first, name of your company, Free Green Nature. That sounds to me like you've got a focus on sustainable agriculture.
You really got the point, Adrian. We believe that one of the main purposes of agritech is to make the entire sector more sustainable, to give people healthy food in a healthy environment. And we also know that agriculture will play a fundamental role in minimizing climate change. Free Green Nature wants to do this, its part, achieve this goal as soon as possible in an easy and accessible way.
Now, Simone, you see robots as a means to an end, don't you, rather than the goal itself? And for you, I think it seems to be all about the most appropriate use of technology.
Isn't that the best definition for technology? After all, it has always been like this. Technology is effective if it allows us to do what we already did in a better way, saving us time, money, and resources in the sense of environmental resources to try to give a better future to the next generation.
Let's move on to your robot itself. I think it's called Icaro X4. I know that it was built to be used in vineyards.
Yeah, Icaro X4 was in fact designed to be used in vineyards and more generally for fruit plants growing in rows, such as apple, for example. The intuition was born in 1992 from the Italian genius of Walter Mazzarolo, but at the time there were no conditions to make these robots. We only think about autonomous driving. Icaro X4 was created to eliminate the typical fungal disease of the vine with UVC rays, significantly reducing, if not eliminated, the chemicals that are normally used today to do this. Icaro X4 will have its memory, the GPS track of the route, and when the sensor algorithm in the field sees the condition, it starts in automatic mode even at night, while the farmers sleep peacefully.
That's very impressive. And when using it in the field, what's the maximum range and operating capacity of Icaro?
Yeah, this is the question that everyone asks to understand if it is right for them. Let's start from the fact that Icaro X4 is a hybrid robot in the sense that all the moving parts are electric, but since today in the most field there is no electricity and not have a huge battery with very long charging times, we have implemented a small diesel generation board which supplies all the necessary energy with a minimum environmental impact. Thanks to this, and based on the environmental condition of the season, we can cover an average of 12 to 15 hectares.
That's pretty impressive and quite a respectable offering. One thing I imagine, though, is you probably don't see every farmer having a swarm of these robots, though, do you?
We are not at all afraid of this, as we are a startup that has done all this with the private capital, without having huge public funding behind us. We have been very careful about the cost, and this also translates into the final cost that the farmer will have. They, on the other hand, will be able to benefit from increasing intensity to reduce the environmental impacts. So we are confident that in a few years, it will be normal to see robots in the field as it is normal to see a tractor today.
I'm very pleased to hear that confidence. And you heard David Rose just now talking about the problems, the barriers facing ag tech adoption in farming. You've taken your own steps to try to mitigate that, haven't you?
Yeah, David. Exactly explained how this factor is fundamental for the development on the whole agritech sector. In our case, in addition to the energy factor that I just mentioned, there is the RTK network.
Let me just stop you there. Can you explain RTK for the benefit of our viewers?
Yeah. RTK stands for real-time kinematic. In a nutshell, it is the system that allows the vehicle to understand where it is with an accuracy of 1–2 centimeters. It is the fundamental technology that makes autonomous driving possible. For this reason, we have also internally developed an RTK antenna that is used on board of the Ecco X4 and in the base station that are used to refer to moving vehicles. It not only serves our vehicles, but its fundamental service can be provided to all vehicles that need to move precisely in the fields.
Simone, thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you today. I think it's just a shame we couldn't have Icaro in the studio here as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a story I want to follow up closely, you know. Thank you again, and we will see you back at the end of the show. So now it's the time for our trends and talks. We have already analyzed many aspects of AgTech, but there is still something missing. We are about to invite our guests back on stage one more time, so Adrian can put one final question to them all for our parting thoughts. Let's welcome back Omer and Simone to the stage. Welcome back, gentlemen. Let's also reconnect to Amy and David online.
Good idea.
Welcome back to you as well. Adrian, over to you for your final question.
Thank you. Final point. I think there's one vital question to which we need to know the answer. I'm going to put it to each of you in turn, and just give me a short response for you. Which are the most important points? Now, what is the most significant thing we can do you think, to facilitate the adoption of AgTech within the industry? Omer, would you like to go first?
Brands need to improve their communication skills. As journalists, we have to make farmers feel like, wow, farming is a cool job.
Thank you. Nice to have that journalistic perspective on it. Amy, what do you think?
More education, mentorship, and training to develop the next generation for a new workforce for AgTech.
Very succinct. Thank you very much. David, can you chip in with your point of view? I know you've got a lot of subjects to cover, but what are the most salient for you?
I think to support farmers to adopt the technology. So providing grants to help them invest, providing better skills training, and improving farm infrastructure so they can take advantage of digital agricultural technologies.
Thank you for wrapping that up, David. From the commercial point of view, finally, Simone?
Yes, regarding the spread of output in agriculture in general, the generational turnover will certainly be an important accelerator, and at the same time it is more attractive for young people who want to enter this fundamental sector, also for their own health. On the other hand, the increasingly stringent regulation are reducing the environmental footprint in terms of lower carbon dioxide emission to limit water pollution and to safeguard biodiversity will lead the government to invest heavily in this sector. We can no longer afford to consume more resources that our planet can generate in a year.
Some terrific points to end on, nicely encapsulated there, Simone. Thank you, and thank you to all of you for being such animated and valuable guests this afternoon.
Well, that's it for this first episode. Thank you, Adrian, for all your expert questions. Thank you very much again to our dear guests here in the studio, Omer and Simone, and connected to us online, Amy and David. Thank you so much. And to our viewers at home, I hope you liked our new format, and I really hope that you will join us again for our next episode with another panel of guests, where we will look at another subject everyone is talking about, soil health. We will see you there, and until then, it's goodbye from me. See you next time.